Good evening, folks. Today we will be load testing the starter and testing its cables. Alright, sometimes whenever a starter ain't turning over or something's wrong, a lot of times you can have a loose connection where a wire is kind of just flopping around, or sometimes the wire is like broken, cut, or it's just worn out from age. Well, today we are going to test that, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So right here we have a multimeter, and on it we have it set on volts, because we are measuring the system voltage. For a 12 volt system, you don't want it to go over and exceed more than half a volt of voltage drop, because that's electricity loss not used for this. And we want everything we can to go to this to start your car. So right here we have our carbon power tester, and we have the amp reading right here. This one right here is an industrial diesel one, and this starter can go to about 500, so we are going to crank this at 500 amps and see what the voltage drop is across the wires. Now we're testing 4 points today. Now from right here, we have the positive lead, or the plus sign, going right here to the solenoid, which is this piece right here, leading all the way up to the positive side of the battery. And then to the ground side of the starter, we have right here, and we have it going to the ground side of the battery. And what we're going to do is we are going to test it. So I'm going to test the positive side first. So I'm going to take one of my leads, I'm going to put it right here and make it stay, so that way it can stay connected to this. I'm going to put the other side, I'm going to connect it right here and see what my voltage drop is. Now 1000 millivolts equals a volt, and we want it to be below 500 altogether with both systems added. So I'm going to crank it up to 500, and we're going to see what we read. So we have about 112 altogether. So that is 0.1 volts, which means the positive side is good. There are no loose connections. And now we will lead to the negative side. So we will connect our negative lead right here. And then we're going to make it stay. And then we're going to follow it to right here. And we're going to see what it reads. So we're going to go ahead and go to 500. It's about 270. So 0.27. So 0.27 plus 0.1 is 0.37. And that's about 370 millivolts. Now that I have showed you the parts of the starter, we are going to be activating and seeing where it is. Alright, so right here we have our starter, we have our ground connected to our ground, and we have our positive counted connected to our positive. So whenever the starter actually runs and everything's connected, it's going and it spins. Whenever it kicks out, right there, that's whenever it touches the big gear and spins. Now, in some cases though, it will not do that and it'll just spin. So it'll just kick out. See?
Just kick out.
But sometimes, whenever the solenoid, which uses its little fork to kick out that piece right there, sometimes it'll just spin. So we're going to take this right here and just connect it to where it connects. On the inside, it has a little piece of metal that connects, and it connects to this. And sometimes the connection can be bad. So what it'll do is just spin. Why won't you work? Hold up. Just give me a second, I'm sorry. See? It'll just spin. And you need them both to work together in order to have a working starter. That is it. Good evening, folks. Today we are going to go over the parts of the starter. And it contains main two parts. You have the solenoid, which is on the top, and then on the bottom you have the actual starter piece itself. And in order to actually start the car, you have to activate a few different parts. First, when the power goes and feeds into the solenoid, it activates the pull-in windings. The pull-in windings then
make the plunger contact disc short out and connect the motor feed terminal all the way to the bypass ignition terminal. And then it goes into the commutator, which activates the brushes and the plates, the field windings, and all the like the ground brush, the field coil, and it turns the armature, which is the big spinning piece, into a magnet. And then it spins. And that's whenever the pull-in windings, they go in and they activate and pull in the fork, and the fork pushes out the armature. And that is how it works. But whenever your car is starting and it's running, the drive pinion, it can spin one way for when the car is starting, but whenever it actually overruns it and it's just too fast for the actual starter, instead of destroying it, it will spin instead of braking. And the overrunning clutch actually starts that motion. And the motor frame is what holds everything together.